Hey everyone. Alright, so I've postponed this for long enough. Here is the 6 Dragoons Meme Team and Dark Visions. I should probably say right from the get-go that this is not going to be a cap video. And there's only one thing missing from me capping this, and this is Poppy's STMR. Or for that matter, Summer Whip. Both of these weapons have all elements. And I need either 2 Poppy STMRs or 2 Summer Whips for that. I don't have neither. I could get 1 Poppy STMR, but 1 is not enough. And if you've watched my chaining video from a few weeks or months back, I explained how to get up to the 5x chain cap. The more elements you use, the less attacks you need to get to the 300 chain modifier score, which is displayed over here usually in the fighting screen. And yeah, if you're using all elements, you only need 2 units to land before you get the 300x increased modifier. So everyone following that deals the maximum 6x damage cap. I can't do that just yet. I will hopefully have at least 1 or ideally 2 Poppy STMRs by the next or the next but one Dark Visions, because I kind of believe we are going to see the Vision World for Trials of Mana next month, and I don't think I can do a 6 Dragoons team for that particular Dark Visions because it's going to be a little bit more tricky. But should we return to the usual Dark Visions style, such as this one we got right now, I should be able to do this in July. We'll see though, but this is the best I could do for the time being. And ideally, I'd also like to have a 4th copy of Craftsman's Secret Book. But let's check out the gearing for the team, because the gearing for the team, it's massive. And it's, let me put this way, it is very specific and probably not for everyone. Alright, so because we are using 2 passive provokers and 4 full evasion units, I guess this already speaks volumes at how hard it is to gear. Okay, so Gilgamesh, he will, or he is our passive provoker in his base form. And here's the first thing, right? Gilgamesh can wear everything, or almost everything, in the game. And instead of Snowgriever, I'd love to use Poppy's STMR here. Gilgamesh is passive provoke evading at 100%, 115 to be specific. I couldn't make it a little bit less than that, so he's overcapping. These are the abilities. Now what's also important is that Gilgamesh has exactly 100 or more resistance to water, because he has to take the Underspelled or the Underspelled Imperil 2 on turn 7, that is, because we're going to turn 9, so it's one more of these super long clears. Going to turn 9 means we have to take the Underspelled Imperil, and that way we are going to use 100% resistance. So these are the abilities, and to achieve that, because if you now count this up, this doesn't really do 100 even with Leviathan. So I gave him Beach Beauties, which provides another 10, 20, 40% in total water resistance. That way I got to 100. Gilgamesh's damage is absolutely irrelevant. Technically speaking, he and Mazurka are the 2 units that are supposed to get the chain modifier up to 6x, so we can deal maximum amount of damage on Aranea, Edgar, Noctis, and Arden. More technically speaking, according to calculations, I only need Arden and Noctis to do max damage, but I'd need, I believe, 4 different elements for that, and I can't do it. I can't do it just yet. It's easy, super, way more easier if I'm going for Poppy's STMR twice, or Summer Whip plus Poppy STMR. It's easier that way, because you only need 2 units instead of 4. Brave Shift, not really geared, to be honest. We've got our second passive provoker. So in Brave Shift, he's got, well, the necessary resistances as well. Okay, Aranea, she is, well, technically just geared for whatever. A lot of resistances, as you can see. She's dual wielding too. And over here, she's using her Wyvern Lance, the Lightning Saber. Technically, I could change this because her damage is actually totally irrelevant. So I could go for, I believe, Earth. Yeah, let me just quickly change this to an Earth weapon because I think this might do the trick. Gaia Blade, right? Yes. Alright, so again, Aranea's damage, totally irrelevant, won't do anything. So yeah, there we go, this is the gear. Enough resistances. Alright. By the way, Aranea's LB also provides a field effect which amplifies attack by 25%. I'm not quite sure whether it's for everyone or just one person of the team, because the game, it doesn't state anything, which I find kind of stupid. But I believe it's 25 for either one or the whole team. So yeah, this is the gear. A little bit of Beast Killer as best as I could. She's at 90%. And she's using the Wake Up Coral vision card for an additional 25% Beast Killer. Next up is Mazurka. She's passive provoking and evading in the base form. And she has to dual wield, I just realized, or else I'm gonna run into trouble. So let's have her do this one as well. So passive provoke evasion in base, and she's wearing an ice weapon and an earth weapon in Brave Shift. So the earth weapon, she's gonna chain or element chain with Aranea, and the ice weapon is chaining with Gilgamesh. So that way we can deal a little bit more element chaining and element spark chaining in particular. Alright, she's using Riku's Vision card. Here's the gear in base. Alright, and next up is King Edgar of Figaro. He is our Dispeller. He has Craftsman's Secret Book. 2, because technically I don't need Craftsman's Secret Book on him, but I just gave it anyway. I might as well imbue him with Earth 2, so he dual elements, etc. Which I think I will do. We'll see. I'm mixing this up a little bit because I know for a fact that Noctis and Arden can cap this on their own if everything goes according to plan. So this is his gear. He's got a little bit of LB fill as well, as you can see, because we need to LB. But technically speaking, shouldn't be any issue whatsoever because we are using his Lance Imperil sometime later down the line. I believe it's turn 6 if I'm not entirely mistaken, so more than enough time. Okay, so this is the gear, Riku's Vision card, and here is the Brave Shift, geared entirely towards DPS. Looks like I forgot something over here. I don't even know what it was that I don't have. What is he missing? I believe he's missing jump damage, but I can't do that. So let's see if I have more Beast Killer. I hate it when you change anything in the game, it immediately breaks. Oh yeah, graceful footwork is what was missing. Alright, so he's at 200 Beast. Let's see, he's got the necessary stats. Yeah, so that was the one thing that was missing for whatever reason. I had this stupid gearing bug. Oh yeah, it's because I equipped Arrow and yeah, I hate the bugs of this game. Next up, Arden. Arden is also fully evading. And this is where things get interesting, right? This is the third unit that is fully evading, even though Mazurka has 2 stacks of evasion on one of her abilities. But you will see why he needs full evasion on turn 7 in particular. So he's also on Craftsman's Secret Book. He's got 100% water resistance because the boss may do an AoE water attack, and if he does, Noctis, Arden, and Gilgamesh need 100% resistance to water. So it's just a safety measure. I mean, you can roll the dice, but since this is a 9-turn clear, yeah, I'm not going to. I want to be as safe as possible, and the base form doesn't even matter at all. So I originally planned to go for Arden dispelling. It's technically possible as well, because Arden has nothing to do on the dispel turn. But yeah, and that's why he's got dual cast on. If you want to replicate this with Poppy's STMR, you don't need dual cast on Arden. You can put this on Edgar and just change the gearing a little bit. Using Noctis' Vision card. And the Brave Shift, totally towards DPS. We're gonna spend 1 turn on his Brave Shift before we actually jump. So he needs a little bit of water resistance in case the boss does a water AoE attack. Alright, so this is the gear. And he's at 800 jump and 225 beast killer, which is pretty much the best I can do with him. Okay, and lastly we've got Noctis. He is also fully evading, as you can see, with Craftsman's Secret Book and Tempest Rod for a 10% wind amp. So as you can see, Noctis is dealing the most damage here by design. And yeah, honor rod arts for the Tempest Rod, the necessary resistances, and his own vision card. And the Brave Shift has the necessary resistances as well. And he's got 300 beast, 800 jump because he's on Ifrit. Okay, so now that we got this out of the way, let's make a quick cut and I'll be right back with the actual boss fight. Alright, I made one little change. I gave Aranea the Dragoon helmet for 20% water resistance, and Edgar, I know I had a beach party on him for additional water resistance. I just did this, I took damage, I hated myself because I forgot about this, so let's go again. Worst part is I have to repeat all of this now, but oh well. So turn 1. We'll have Gilgamesh do bar Watergar for the team, Aranea's going to bar Aroga for the team, and let's do the 100 chain score right out of the way. I hate this part of Dark Visions. I feel like the 100 chain score should be removed, because it literally does nothing. It's just an annoyance. Alright, so let's, where is it? This one. So we are going to get to 119. There we go. Okay, so the next couple of turns are going to be very boring because we will just repeat what we just did. So these 3 are going to guard. Mazurka is just going to use one attack of Emotional Slash, which is 2 stacks of Mirage for the whole team. Both Edgar and Aranea need that. The other 4 are fully evading anyway. But I can't. If I could, I would gear 6 units for full evasion, but that is asking a little bit too much. Okay, so we can just repeat. And from here on out, the fight starts getting a little bit more interesting. We're gonna do different actions each turn now. Alright, so there was 1 stack of Mirage. Technically you don't need 2 stacks of Mirage, but it's the safer way. Alright, so let's have our boy Edgar dispel the boss. Not dispel the boss, but the team. There we go. And there is the stuff. So these three can just repeat. And let's have Noctis Sword Imperil the boss. Arden has nothing to do, he can just guard. Okay. Turn 5. Turn 5 is Imbue turn. So I will imbue Edgar with Earth, like I mentioned before. I will imbue Noctis and Arden with Wind. Aranea is going to Aerial Supremacy, and the rest of the team just repeats. Rest as in 2. Okay. So there we go. And this, by the way, this attack is the reason why I get everyone towards 100% watch resistance after buffs. Okay, turn 6. We will have Arden Brave Shift and use Phantasm. Noctis is going to Brave Shift as well. I believe his... no, that's not it. It's a 120 Imperil too, yeah. So Noctis and Arden will do their unlocks. Aranea and Edgar are going to Brave Shift and LB now. So let's have Aranea start. Let's have Edgar start. Gilgamesh is going to Brave Shift. Yep, he is. He will Secret Sword Art Excalibur. He is going to Genji Blade for all 120 resistant imperils. And he's going to Excalibur for a 130 light imperil. But I believe this one runs out anyway before we actually do damage to the boss. And Mazurka just does her double Mirage stack. And Mazurka is now the one passive provoking because Gilgamesh is not. Alright, here we go. Nobody takes damage. Perfect. So here's the Imperil, which we will not dispel. But since we geared for it in the base form and Noctis and Arden can use their modifier boosts in their base form, it's easily dodgeable. So let's do that. Both Noctis and Arden will just power up. Gilgamesh switches back to the base form. I really like the true Brave Shift mechanic. It's so good and it's so flexible. So Gilgamesh is going to, I suppose I misjudged, to unlock his better jump. He has one, but it's on the next turn, so no point in using it right now. Also, it would pretty much ruin the whole strat. He's going to Excalibur and Snow Paddle, just because. Now, everyone else is going to jump, because it's a 2-turn jump. So Edgar jumps, Aranea jumps, Mazurka Brave Shift and jumps, meaning we again switch the passive Provoker back to Gilgamesh. So let's have the Dragoons, the first couple of Dragoons jump. Looks so funny, like all of them are going up in the air. Alright, and let's have Gilgamesh repeat. Alright, there we go. No damage taken, and without passive provoke, I would have taken damage now. Alright, so let's jump the rest of the team. So both Arden and Noctis jump in the air. And yeah, we'll have an empty playing field here. I think this looks so funny, and you will see what I mean in just a second. So Gilgamesh is using Not Highlight, which is probably the most stupid ability name I've read in my whole life. But yeah, we are looking at an empty playing field, so the boss is wondering where everyone is. Okay, I actually have my own macro for the Dragoons, which activates Mazurka and Gilgamesh first, shortly thereafter Aranea lands, and in so the first couple are Gilgamesh and Mazurka who land. I designed this towards having a double Poppy STMR, so it would be at 300. They both spark chain, and right after that the last 4 land with a little bit of a delay. So first of all, it's Aranea plus Edgar. And the last batch is Arden and Noctis. but it's going to look like as if it was all at the same time, but that's how it runs. All right, let's do this. We should land at 11 chain score. So let's see what happens. Well, it was at 300%, but it's not going to cap. It's far from capping. Yeah, 4 billion. Like I said, if I had double Poppy STMR, this would be an easy cap, but I don't. Because in this strat, Noctis is the one who actually reaches the 300%, so he's attacking at, I believe, 5.2, and the very last hit is 6x, so he's doing the brunt damage. And if we had the damage scorecard up here in the top right, I could show this to you that Noctis is actually dealing significant amount of damage, but yeah, we don't, sadly. But this is how the 6 Dragoon meme team actually works. I think it's super fun, and once I have double Poppy STMR or Poppy STMR plus Summer Whip, I can show you how this works. I don't even know if Summer Whip is a time limited equipment piece, because it's from Summer Breeze Fina, and I'm not sure whether she was a time limited unit. But anyway, I know I can get Poppy's STMR twice. I'm just not seeing the point in using 2 STMR moguls on that. I think that's a waste, just to prove a point that this is possible to cap. But we'll get there someday, probably in July, Dark Visions, once I have another copy of Poppy. I hope this was as fun for you guys as it was for me. I'm a little bit sad that I couldn't cap this one, but yeah, it's always something missing. And this is, like I said, a super expensive and very, very specific team with very, very specific gearing requirements, and it's certainly not for everyone. But if you can pull it off, I think it's hilarious. Okay, so yeah, my plans for the rest of the week. I will do another clear of Phoenix, but I might not record this. It's going to be the same team as long as the Zidane STMR isn't fixed, and I'm actually not expecting it to be fixed before the next maintenance. So if you've watched my original Phoenix clear, yeah, the only thing I'm going to change is that I will be tag LBing on the Elric brothers. Bart is going to LB into it, and yeah, so it's going to be 4 LBs, correct, and 2 jumpers, aka Noctis plus Arden. That's all there is. So yeah, I should get my score up to 1. It's million, right? So 1,850,000 should be where I will end up, very likely. So again, back into the top 100. And yeah, that's about it. I will also do a Vivi clear of the magical domain, but I need EX plus 1 Vivi for that, and my Vivi is getting EX plus 1 on Tuesday. I need 10 more. So on Tuesday I can EX plus 1 Vivi, and then I will do a video on the magical stage with just Vivi, potentially capping this fight. I haven't mathed it out yet, but Vivi should, technically speaking, be able to cap the magical stage on his own with Steiner. Alright, so that's for it for today. We'll see each other at the very latest on Tuesday again for the Vivi clear of the magical stage. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice rest of the weekend. Bye bye.